الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا ونبينا محمد الأمين صلى الله تبارك وتعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وهو ولي المتقين وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبد الله وهو أفضل الأنبياء والمرسلين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم وبعد أيها الأحبة مرحبا بكم من جديد في محراب سيد المحبة سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم في هذه الخطبة. The Holy Prophet صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم in a hadith that has been narrated to us by Sayyidina Abdullah bin Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala be pleased with both of them, and the hadith is in Sahih Bukhari. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu ta'ala said, أخذ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بمنكبي فقال كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر سبيل. He said, the Holy Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم took hold of my shoulders and said, you know, when you have a friend of yours who come to you and would place his two hands on your shoulders, you know that this is a sign of affection, but he has something of importance to share with you. He said that's the husn ta'aleem of Sayyidina Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He would not just come and say something. He would make you pay attention. Like when he was teaching Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu tabaraka wa ta'ala anhu at-tashahhud, he said the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam took his hand and started, you know, teaching him how to say at-tashahhud. So Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu said that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam took hold of his two shoulders alayhi salatu wasalam and said, kun fi dunya كأنك غريب أو عابر سبيل. Be in the world like a stranger or a wayfarer. That is another beautiful usloob of teaching of Sayyidina Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He didn't just come to him and say, live dunya. But no, he gave him an example. You know, an example that you can see and feel. كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر سبيل. Be in this dunya as a stranger, or even more than that, a wayfarer. Because the stranger can be sitting for a while, even though he's a stranger in the city. No one knows him, he doesn't know anyone, but he's here. But عابر سبيل, he doesn't even sit there. He just keeps going. كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر سبيل. And because of this lesson from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar used to say, here he said the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did this and said, but he, Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar, used to repeat these following words عليه رضوان الله تعالى. وكان ابن عمر, the Rawi said, وكان ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما يقول إذا أمسيت فلا تنتظر الصباح وإذا أصبحت فلا تنتظر المساء. if you survive, can be translated as if you survive till the evening, do not expect to leave until the next morning. إذا أمسيت فلا تنتظر الصباح. And if you survive until the next morning, do not expect to leave until the evening. That is a tafsir. Or إذا أمسيت, if you have something to do in the evening, فلا تنتظر الصباح. Do not wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow has its specific things that need to be done, which need to be done. So if you postpone the amal of today till tomorrow, what are you going to do with tomorrow? Tomorrow alayka haqqan. Tomorrow has right over you, as today as well. So these beautiful words Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala used to repeat. If you make it, if you survive till the evening, do not expect to leave until the next morning. And if you survive until the next morning, do not sit there expect that you will make it to the next evening. He said. Then he said, وَخُذْ مِنْ صِحَّتِكَ لِمَرَضِكَ وَمِنْ حَيَاتِكَ لِمَوْتِكَ. Do good deeds when you are in good health, before you fall sick. And do good deeds as long as you are alive, before death strikes. So, very short lesson, very short hadith, yet a very beautiful one. All the teachings of the Holy Prophet ﷺ are beautiful. But there are certain hadiths in which you will find the usul, the jawami'ul kalim of the jawami'ul kalim of Sayyidina Rasulullah, the most comprehensive words of the comprehensive words of Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why when we study hadith, or let's say when we learn, because there's a difference between studying and learning. People used to learn. Today we just study. Because when you learn, you really learn. You get to know what you have to learn, and you go through it and you repeat it until you make sure that it's part of you now. Yeah? One of the shurrah of Alfiyat ibn Malik, he said he read it over 1,000 times. 1,000 times, one book. That's learning. And when we learn the hadith, we just don't want to jump and grasp any book. The scholars, they have done the job for us already. They have organized it for us. They used to start with this beautiful small book of Al-Imam al-Nawawi rahmatullah alayhi, Al-Arba'un al-Nawawi, the 40 hadith of Al-Imam al-Nawawi. Actually, there are more than 40 hadith in the book. There are 42, but because it's around 40, they call it 40 hadith. So, for example, if you want to study hadith, if you want to learn hadith, start with that. Don't just go and take Bulughul Maram or Umdatul Ahkam or Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Take a book that is a comprehensive book. For you to memorize these 40 hadiths of Imam Nawawi is better than you memorize the first 300 hadiths of Imam Bukhari. Why? Because those hadiths, they just speak, they just discuss one subject. For example, subject of tahara, and then subject of salah. When these 42 hadiths teach everything about Islam, all the usul of Islam are in these hadiths. And this hadith that I have just mentioned is in there. Actually, it is the 40th of Al-Arba'un al-Nawawi. And each hadith of this beautiful book, from this blessed gentleman, Imam Nawawi, who just lived 44 years of age. 44 he lived. And there is no masjid today, or a center, or Islamic school where you don't find the books of Imam Nawawi. Actually, it is said that the most printed book after the Quran in Islam is the book of Imam Nawawi. That is called Riyadus Salih. That's the barakah of Imam Nawawi. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala have mercy on him. So in this beautiful hadith, the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam not only teaches all of us, but he even told the teachers how to teach. Alayhi salatu wa alayhi afdalu salam. And he was teaching one of the best students of himself, Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar, who loved not only the deen of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but the natural being of the Holy Prophet, the natural sunnahs of Sayyidina Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You would see him walking and suddenly he would wave. And they would ask him why. He said, there was a branch of a tree here. And I once came across with the Holy Prophet ﷺ because he wanted to avoid the branch, he waved. So I do wave because the Prophet ﷺ waved. He would go to a place and they see him pray. They say, why? He said, because I saw the Holy Prophet ﷺ pray here once. And he said, the Holy Prophet ﷺ took hold of my shoulders and said this, كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر سبيل. فالغريب لم يتخذها سكنا وقرارا وعابر السبيل لم يستقر فيها أبدا بل هو ماشي ومستمر في مشيته. So that's how we should live in this dunya according to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Be here as if you were a stranger. And he said even more than that, as you were just a wayfarer. You're traveling, and the how do you call the airline stop somewhere. You are in transit just for a few hours. Are you going to be going everywhere and trying to invest and do things? No, you can't. Or build a house to live. No, you're just a wayfarer. You're just in transit. That's how we are in this dunya, according to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our life, in comparison to the life of the entirety of the dunya, is not even a second. It's not even a second. And the entire life of this dunya to akhirah is not even a second. وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said, the true life is in akhirah. The true life is in akhirah. So if your entire life was a beautiful life, was a rich life, was everything, it's nothing. But your life and my life is not like that. We're not in Darul Safa. We're in Darul Safa'in mahfuvin bi akdar. Yes, you can be healthy today, tomorrow you're sick. You're rich today, tomorrow you're poor. You're happy today, tomorrow you're sad. Every single happiness we have in this dunya, there was some sadness before it, and there will be some sadness after it. لا طيب للعيش, as the poet said. لا طيب للعيش ما دامت منغصة لذاته بالدكار الموت والهرم. He said, how this dunya can be good when you have two akdar, two qadar that have to do with this dunya. For you always have in your mind that one day you will die. And as a young man, as a strong man, as a healthy person, you always have in mind that one day I will be old. That the thought of death, just thinking about death, can make your life miserable. Just thinking about old age can discourage you. So you say, what is good in this dunya? لا طيب للعيش ما دامت منغصة صفاؤها بلذاته بالدكار الموت والهرم. So how can we then lean into this dunya? How can we then think we're going to be here forever? That's why Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said, إذا أمسيت فلا تنتظر الصباح. Meaning, whatever action you have to do, do it now. As our Sufi scholar said, As-Sufi ibn waqtihi. The Sufi is the son of now. He's the son of his time. Be the son of now, they say. You have something to do now, let it happen now. Do not postpone the work of today until tomorrow. Not even until tomorrow, but not even until later. Because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Or because you do not know that you will make it till tomorrow, then don't be there expecting. Do everything you gotta do now. Because by tomorrow, things can change. You have ability now, later maybe you won't. You're alive now, tomorrow maybe you won't. That's what he said. And we all see that. We all see that. How many times do you see a person, who talk to you on the phone, for example, and then the next morning they call you, he passed. There was a beautiful brother here, his name was Serin Juk. Serin went to Senegal. He met with his friends, I think Brother Mahmoud and others, at airport. They were traveling to America. Mahmoud, I believe he had his baggage was overweight. So Serin said, I don't have a lot of baggage, so you can put it on my name. When they entered the airplane, Mahmoud and his friend, they said, where is Serin? We don't see him. They said, maybe he's in the first class, because they didn't see him. They arrived here, they were told that he died before they boarded. At airport, he had a heart attack. And many people here knows him. He was teaching here at CSI. And we are all studying. When a person leaves home, he goes to work, tells his wife, I want you to cook this and this, and he will never eat from that. And I have another example that many of us know of. There was a sister, a beautiful sister, Naisona. She finished her degree in nursing, and she said once she finished her degree, she started, putting hijab. She committed to study the Quran, her and her daughter. They were coming here until they could read. The day she had interview for her job, it was Ramadan. She was cooking, for iftar, for guests who came to her house. She went to Brooklyn. After the interview and acceptance and everything, she came out, she was opening her car came and killed her. She lived here. And some of you, that brother knows her. But to us, it's not for us now, it's forever. Accidents. Everything is happening around us. But Allah says, it is the false hopes that deceive us and distract us from reality. That's why one of them said, اعمل لدنياك كأنك تعيش أبدا وعمل لآخرتك كأنك تموت غدا. Some think it's a hadith that's not a hadith, but it has conformity with the hadith. Work for dunya as if you were to live forever, and work for akhirah as if you were to die tomorrow. And that actually has two meanings. One meaning is do everything you can for this dunya, as if you're not going to live here. Or, don't kill yourself when it comes to this dunya, because whatever you cannot do now, you can do it tomorrow. So don't kill yourself for dunya. But when it comes to akhirah, tell yourself that it's now or never. Sayyidina Umar used to give this as a wasiyah. When the salah comes, he said, make sure that you pray as if this was your last prayer. Salatul Muwadda'. So that's what the Holy Prophet ﷺ is telling us here. And Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar, commenting the hadith, said, وَخُذْ مِنْ صِحَّتِكَ لِمَرَضِكَ. وَخُذْ مِنْ صِحَّتِكَ لِمَرَضِكَ. Do while you are healthy every single good thing you can before sickness strikes. And we are all subject to sicknesses. When you are healthy, you have power, you have the ability, and you have nashat, it's easy for you to do. But when marad comes, even if you are willing to do, you cannot. If you are willing to do, you cannot. So take advantage of your health, he says. Because if you do good things when you are healthy, and then sickness comes, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will write for you every single thing you used to do when you were healthy. Because you are not healthy now, you cannot. But what if we don't do anything? And he said, وَمِنْ حَيَاتِكَ لِمَوْتِكَ, because death is coming. So do everything you can do now, as long as you are alive. And everything you have in life, whether it's your life or whatever wealth you may have, let it be as Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayhi said, let it be your donkey, meaning your means of transportation, which you use to reach your goal. Many of us make money or wealth or our projects as our goal. When they say, define your goals, what are your goals? What are your goals? He said, ينبغي للإنسان أن يجعل المال كأنه حمار يركبه أو كأنه بيت الخلاء يقضي فيه حاجته. He said, your wealth should be seen as a donkey, a means of transportation. You ride to go to a destination. The destination is to please Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. The destination is Jannah, to go back to Jannah. As one of them said, ليس الفراق فراق الموت والسفرين الفراق في الجنان أو سقر. Because we didn't come from here, so why we want it here? Why we love it here? We must love it there. He said that's how we should see our wealth. Or a bathroom, he said, where someone goes and, relieve oneself and go out. He said that's how the wealth should be in our eyes. But many of us, our wealth or our goals, the dunya goals, become the person and we are the donkey. We are the donkey, we are the means of the transportation. We are the means of the transportation. So this hadith is among the most beautiful. I started with it because it takes us to the book of Ibn Hazm, which we started, I think, last Friday. They have to do with, it has to do with this, the beautiful jumal of the book of Imam Ibn Hazm, rahmatullah alayhi. He said, imhalu sa'a, meaning the ihmalu sa'a, he said, yufsidu riyadat as-sana. The negligence of an hour, he said, will ruin the work of an entire year. And that has to do with this hadith. Meaning we need to be consistent, we need to have a plan, we need to work, we need to never stop. And we need to have a goal, and our goal should not be only this dunya. The dunya is just a means for our goals to be achieved. He also said, لا تحقر شيئا من عمل غد أن تحققه بأن تعجله اليوم وإن قل فإن قليل الأعمال يجتمع كثيرها وربما أعجز أمرها عند ذلك فيبطل الكل. He said, whatever task you have, Do not belittle your ability, the ability you have, whatever you can do now. Don't say, oh, this is too big, I'm going to wait for tomorrow. The more you wait, the more task you will have. But no matter how little you can do now, he said, it's going to make it happen. لا تحقر شيئا, then he said, لا تحقر شيئا مما ترجو به تثقيل ميزانك يوم البعث أن تعجله الآن وإن قل. They all have to do with that. He said, whatever you think can render your mizan, your good deeds heavy on the day of judgment, he said, do not belittle them. Make sure you do them now, whatever they are. لا تؤخر عمل اليوم إلى الغد. And if we know that, he said, that whenever it comes to wealth, people are wealthy around us. A friend of mine from Ivory Coast, he wrote on his status yesterday, he said, I mean, it's frustrating that I always pray and I see people who never pray have, successful. So he sees success, as having money or being wealthy. And I said to him, the fact that you can pray every single day, that itself is success. What success are you looking for? If you do pray on time, those people, Allah says, سَنَسْتَدْرِجُهُمْ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ وَلَا يَحْسِبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ لِأَنفُسِهِمْ إِنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ لِيَزْدَادُوا إِثْمًا وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. That's not success at all. Because those people, whatever they may have, they don't have happiness in their heart. Why? Because Allah is not there. نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ وَأَنفُسَهُمْ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَنَسِيَهُمْ إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. So true success is when one has Allah in one's heart. That's why Imam Ibn Hazm rahmatullahi alayhi said, انظر في المال والحال والصحة إلى من دونك. When it comes to wealth, when it comes to your situation, when it comes to your health, he say, always look at people who are below you. You are sick, there are people who are way more sick. You don't have money, there are people who have worse situation than you are. Whatever situation you are in, you have people who are less or worse. He said, look at them. And then he said, when it comes to the deen, وَانْظُرْ فِي الدِّينِ وَالْعِلْمِ وَالْفَضَائِلِ إِلَى مَنْ ذُوقَكَ. When it comes to your deen, when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to, excellent or good behavior and conduct, he said, always look at people who are better than you. Because if you look at people who are below you, you're not going to increase, you're not going to grow. You will think you are good, he said. أسأل الله تبارك وتعالى من أن يجعلنا من أهل الاستماع والاتباع. هذا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. الحمد لله وصلى الله على نبيه ومصطفاه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن مولانا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وكرم وشرف وبارك عليه وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعلي كلمتك كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا عدوا إلا كفيته ولا عيبا إلا سترته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ولا فاسدا إلا أصلحته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا قضيتها لنا ويسرتها لنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى اللهم وسلم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم وأقم الصلاة.